Hello, beautiful soul family, and welcome to the 2021 intuitive card reading. My name is Emily Marie. I am an intuitive healer, an intuitive creator, the creator of Bridget Rose Apothecary, and I am so excited to be here with you today. I just got finished channeling the 2021 message, and so I am all lit up. And so now I'm excited to drop in again and tune in and pull from my OG tarot deck. This is my first tarot deck that I learned to read from, and so it feels pretty special to kind of just like only be pulling these cards, and I'm feeling really called to really just shuffle and tune into messages that are going to support us in 2021, and energies really that will support us in 2021. So no really plan how many cards I'm going to pull, anything like that. I am just going to tune into the energy, see what comes out, and channel from there. And that is how I started to do it. And that feels so right to tune into the energy here. So before I get started, I am just going to light some Palo Santo. I'm going to start to take some deeper inhales. I invite you with me maybe to close your eyes, to tune in with me. Taking an inhale in through your nose and an exhale out of your mouth, and an inhale in through your nose and an exhale out of your mouth. And we'll do one more inhale in through our nose. And exhale through our mouth. Just slowing down and tuning in and tapping in together. I am going to put my heart connection chakra balm on, a creation over at Bridget Rose Apothecary. And so this is a beautiful balm allowing me to just tap deeper into my heart space, to open my channel up to receive the messages, to allow my hands to pull the cards, and for allow me to receive and express the messages that are going to be in the highest good for those of you that are watching, that are receiving on the other end, receiving these supportive messages for the year of 2021. And if you haven't watched the energy update already, I invite you to do so. It is all about change. It is all about growth. As the first card comes out, we have the card of Ace Realization. And so this card, I feel, is really showing us, is telling us, going off of that 2021 energy and what I was sharing in the update. This year, we are going to be receiving some big realizations. We are really going to be coming fuller into alignment with our soul path, what is meant for us with our soul growth journey. We are going to be receiving, and again, just coming into fuller alignment with that, having massive realizations of what is meant for us, what we want to be doing, how we're going to spend our time, and getting really crystal clear on that. And the going off of that, once we have those realizations, the medicine here is to create these steps in the actual human physical reality that are going to allow us to really make these realizations, to really make our dreams become a reality. And so, yeah, big realizations in 2021. We're going to be receiving a lot that is meant for us, and that is really going to align us pretty quickly to where we are meant to be in terms of our soul growth and receiving a lot of the things that we've been asking for, in a sense. And so the way, again, to really be able to receive those things in the physical sense, not just those realizations, is going to be to embody them, to bring them down into the physical form, into that 3D, and to express yourself, what's coming up, to take the actions necessary to create those, to make your desires a reality, to making the steps necessary, taking the steps necessary to receive what is in alignment for you. So listening to your highest self, listening to your intuition, that's going to be a big thing. Trusting yourself is a huge energy of 2021. Okay, I thought a card fell out, but it didn't. So our next card here on top of trusting ourselves, and I love that this came out because this all goes in hand with our intuition, but Pleiadian Star Goddess. So what this does is really connecting not only to our intuition, trusting ourselves, our intuition, but opening ourselves up, opening all our eyes up, our perspective up, opening ourselves up to new perspective and new ways of communicating is what's coming through. New ways of communicating, being open to communicating with your angels, with your starseed family, with different planets, with different ancestors, with different spirit guides, with different types of energies, higher vibrational energies that are only there to support you in your highest good. But being open to connect with those types of things this year, to open your perspective up and to see all the different ways that you can learn about yourself, that you can connect with yourself. What's coming up is human design and astrology, and I know that's real for me, but those are like different systems and examples of systems where we can learn more about ourselves that are a little more woo-woo and out there, right? But that can really shift our perspective. And then also going into the human experience, opening up our perspective to not just see, what is actually happening here and now, and, in terms of maybe what you're going through is pretty shitty in the human experience, and not just to be so focused on that it's so shitty, but to open up your perspective and see what, this experience might be teaching you, what you can learn from this to help you move, to help you grow, to help you expand versus to stay stuck. So being open to perspective, being open to support, not just physical, like human support, but also that outside, that outside angelic support, that outside angelic support. All right, 2 of the next cards that just flew out. So 5, this card of 5, I love it because 2021 is the year of the 5, right? But this card has to do all with cleansing. And I love this. What comes to mind first, even before cleansing, is finding your community, because that is what this 5 year is about. So finding your community as you cleanse, as you move, as you grow, as you embrace this growth, as you embrace this change, because as we grow, as we change, as we shift, we have to leave things behind. We have to cleanse, and that's a pretty rapid process as we are in the thick of change, life, death, rebirth. And so as we are in the aspect of death and rebirth, which is all that change energy, right? We are always in that process of releasing, of cleansing, of coming anew, and being able to be comfortable in that process of sharing what's real for us, of expressing ourselves, expressing our emotions, of allowing ourselves to share what's real, is going to allow us to shift, to move, to grow. I don't want to say quicker, and it's not necessarily easier, but with more ease, with more grace, with more flow, which is going to make it seem quicker, which is going to make it seem like we're not stuck in a place forever, right? So finding those places where you can speak your truth, cleansing the seas is all about emotion. I'm feeling like crying, like really finding those spaces where you feel that you can like be your true self, where you can let it all go. That's going to be so crucial for this year. That's not only going to help you heal, cleanse, clear, grow, rebirth, all of the things, right? But it's also going to help you deepen into your own perception, your own intuition, to really get to know this highest self version of you and to act in accordance with him, her, them, whomever that is, at all times, and to act in accordance with them and take those, again, necessary action steps in the physical human form that is going to allow your desires to become reality, for you to lay down the structures to create the stability in this highest self energy versus versus staying in maybe loops that aren't allowing you to thrive, that aren't allowing you to align with your highest self. But really just coming back to this card which comes all the way back to the first card, but is about trusting ourselves, trusting our intuition this year, getting to know ourselves on a deep level so that we can really become in tune with that deep perception, those deep inner knowings, our intuition, and just getting to know us. That's what it comes down to. So I love that card. I love that's what it's sharing with us. And look at, she's like soft and strong, right? She's not afraid to kind of like fight with her little Triton there, but it looks like the power of her emotions, the power of her intuition of herself is more powerful than anything. But there's a softness and there's a strength there. So that's something else I want to point out. Oh my God. And then look, we have another C card. So what's telling me is our emotions, again, that's just a huge message that came through in the 2021 energy update. And I was like, why do I keep saying emotions and I like leave out mental and physical? Because it is about everything, but our emotions are going to be so crucial this year. And so really allowing ourselves to be true, to be real with ourselves, to connect to what we want, and to take the necessary action steps in the human form to make sure that those become our reality, that our desires become our reality, but staying connected to our heart space as we move through all of the change, as we move through all of the things, moving, growing, and shifting. Staying connected, what is true to us, is going to support us in keeping us aligned with our desire, supporting us in kind of staying focused in where we want to go, connecting to our emotions and being real with ourselves in each and every moment is going to be such a huge energy in 2021, supporting us and really creating these stable foundations for our desires to become our reality. So I love that it's a kind of, I know it's a pearl, but it kind of also looks like a seed. So this is a potent time at the beginning of this year, in the beginning of this 9-month birth cycle that we got going on, to plant your seeds, plant these seeds of your desires. And as you follow your emotions, as you start to show up and trust yourself, trust your own cycles, get to know yourself, get to know your own cycles, you're going to see how the seed of desire that you planted over these next 9 months, over this next year, is going to root down, is going to start to grow up. Maybe it comes up as, a weed and you have to uproot it and you plant another desire and you start over. Or maybe this is something that you just keep watering, you keep showing up to. Maybe there's leaves that fall off and that's okay, but it's still there, that desire. Planting it right now is so crucial because it's going to take time for it to become a fully embodied reality for you, for that desire to become an actual thing in that external reality. So yes, big messages there. And the card that is flipped over on the top here is Crone Ascension. And so this really in this earth, I love that this is an earth card too, because this comes so this ties in the message so strongly for 2021 and how really it's going to be a rapid ascension process. There's going to be so much change. I'm feeling like this eclipse energy, like things are going to change that we've been wanting them to change. There's going to be uncertain changes we're not sure about. But through it all, it's bringing us to really our highest soul path, our highest evolution. It is aligning us to where we are meant to be, bringing us further to in our soul growth journey this whole year. That's what it's about. And again, loving that it's an earth card, because we have to take that walk as a human. We have to move through the experience of growth and change as a human. So nurturing this human self, taking care of ourselves is going to be such a big energy this year. Getting to know our body, getting to know our physical reality, taking care of the things in our physical reality in the energy as our highest self would show up as. So not necessarily showing up to the human experience as a limited human, being able to show up to the human experiences as your expansive soul self, as your expansive 5D self, right? And being able to show up in that energy in the human experience, in the earth walk, to create the change that is necessary to create the foundations so that you can set things up to create the life that you desire, to receive what you desire. So this is going to be an intense year. I love that the Crone Ascension card came up. It's a lot about getting to know yourself. Don't be afraid to connect with yourself this year. I know I'm talking a lot about community and how it's going to be important to find those places, but not being afraid to spend time with yourself. That's going to be a big energy of this year too, right? Knowing when it's time to spend time with you internally and when it's time to be more extroverted and to be out in your communities, in your places, and things like that. So that's a message, another message that came through with that card. Two more cards that fell out as I was shuffling, and then I have one flipped over here. So the Great Void. I love that this card came up for the 2021 intuitive card reading, because I feel that's an energy we are going to really need to get comfortable in. Again, change, life, death, rebirth, death, rebirth, death, rebirth. What comes in between death and rebirth is the void, is that dark space of uncertainty where things have kind of fallen apart, have died off, have ended, but things haven't quite began again. Things are starting to begin, but we're on shaky ground. We're not sure. It's like we have one step in the past, maybe one step in the future. Like it's just that space of the in between. So I love that this card came up, because it is going to be so important for us this year to get comfortable in the uncertainty, to get comfortable in that space of the in-between, to be able to sit in the darkness, in the uncomfiness of the uncertainty, to ground ourselves there and know that is where creation is had. That is where we really receive the energy to move forward. So slowing down, taking care of ourselves, nourishing ourselves, nurturing ourselves as we move through these changes, not having to rush through everything, not having to if things don't feel right, if things are ending, not having to rush into try to fix things or try to begin something new or create something again. Maybe it's just time to pause. Maybe it's just time to sit there. Maybe it's just time to be with yourself and get quiet and listen to what is coming through. celebrating yourself for getting to this point of coming to new life, celebrating what has been, where you have been, honoring all of these past pieces of you, anchoring in to all of those beautiful feelings that the past has taught you, being present to receive that as you're present to receive the goodness of what is to come. And it's going to be such a dance this year not to rush this process. And it's such a delicate process. And it happens every single month. If you want to break it down to the days, let's get to the days. But in the energy update, I mentioned the moon cycles and how it's going to be super crucial, important, supportive to understand those cycles this year, and opening your heart to these new perspectives. Look at how many of her eyes are open. Look at this eye is open, right? But look at how many eyes are open, opening your perspective, getting to know these cycles. God, I love it. I love it. I love it. And when you get to understand these cycles, when you get to really get comfortable in the uncomfortable, in the uncertainty, those spaces bring so much magic, and they really do bring so much clarity. They bring this energy of new life. They bring this renewed sense of living, sense of worth is the word that comes to mind, but it's really this sense of clarity, this sense of vision, this sense of alignment after you're in the depths of the uncertainty. Instead of doubting that you're there, sitting in the great void, trusting, knowing you're there for a reason, knowing that things are starting to begin again and there's no rush. You are exactly where you're meant to be. Trusting in that cycle and trusting in that when you're in the void brings so much clarity. Let me share that from experience. And so I love that clarity card popped out, because it's really sharing the message, like, as we show up to the harder things, to the darker times, as we show up in our highest self energy and show up to nurture ourselves and take care of ourselves, we're going to receive what we want on the other end. In that state of rebirth and feeling that life again, we're really going to receive what we desire when we show up and do the work. So I love that clarity piece came up. Okay, and the card that I had flipped over here after the great void, after clarity, is nurturance. And so I love that this energy is here for us. This is that deep, loving, nurturing, compassionate type of energy, which also has to do with self-care. Showing up to take care of ourselves in each and every moment, giving ourselves what we need to nurture the seeds that we've planted, to nurture the path that we are on, so that we can keep showing up to do the work, keep showing up to embrace the change without getting burnt out. So there's this huge energy again of that self-care, of that nurturance. So this nurturance is bringing me back to that message of self-care, is just to take care of ourselves along the way, giving yourself what you need as you embrace all of these changes. Because again, change is not easy. Change is pretty uncomfortable. But when we give ourselves what we need, what our highest self is desiring, not what our human wants, it's going to keep us comfortable and going to keep us stuck, but really giving ourselves what we need, being compassionate with ourselves as we're making these changes, because maybe what we need in that moment is not what our ego wants, but it's what we need. There's going to be a lot of resistance. And so really nurturing ourselves, being that loving type of mother energy as we walk through this year for ourselves, because it's just going to be an experience. It is going to be a process. And so showing up with that abundance, I like that that's the 8 there, right? That abundance of love, especially for our human. And I say especially for our human because it's the earth card there. showing love to our human self, and a big energy of getting to know our body, getting to know this actual body, falling in love with our body and what he, she, they, them looks like, is like on the outside, that physical appearance. That's a huge energy of this year and what this card is bringing out. Falling in love with ourselves, falling in love with what we have here and now, and starting from that energy, because nothing is going to change if we don't truly fucking love ourselves first. And so I love that that came out. The next card we have, I'm going to do a couple more here. I'll do 2 more after this one. But Ace Manifestation, going off that love card, as we give ourselves what we need, as we give ourselves what we want, as we nurture ourselves, as we love ourselves, we are going to keep receiving what we desire. And what's coming through right now is being open to receiving, not being attached to what things have to look like, but being open to receive an abundance of opportunity, an abundance of new awareness, being open to receive what it is you desire, not being attached to an end picture, an end outcome. And another message coming through pretty strong here is to be intentional with how you are speaking, with being very intentional of how you are speaking, with what you are thinking, because those 2 things are an energy that add to your manifestation as well. Those, your thoughts and the way that you speak things, add a frequency to how you show up. And so really being aware, because we literally speak things into existence. So being aware with how you're showing up, with how you are honoring those pieces of you that create your reality, which is all of your energy. So just being intentional, being very intentional, because yeah, that goes into that manifestation. But going back to that message of loving yourself and taking care of yourself to receive your desires this year, to receive those manifestations, to really follow through on what you want. It's going to be about taking care of you, taking care of your body, connecting with your body. Yeah, and understanding yourself, really understanding yourself, learning about yourself. All right, so 2 more cards. 2 more cards here. So the last 2 guidance cards for this 2021 reading. All right, we have one here and one right here. All right. Oh, I love it. All right, so we have Maiden Beauty. If this isn't about getting, if this card doesn't radiate getting to know yourself, getting to know your body, getting to know this physical version of you and loving yourself, like, look, right, she isn't necessarily the like thin pictured woman, whatever you might see in the media, right? She is voluptuous. And I'm not even saying that it's all thin women anymore. We've really shifted that in the media, but there's still a lot of that. But what's coming through here is getting to love each and every piece of you, getting to love all of your body. So that's the first message that comes through. Nurturing yourself, giving yourself what you need, sinking into your heart space, creativity, knowing that when you take care of your body, you take care of yourself, you show up for yourself, you in hand take care of others, you take care of the people around you. And that is a huge honor, celebration in shifting the collective. So know that when you show up to take care of yourself, you really give permission for others to show up to take care of themselves as well. Honoring your beauty, getting to know your beauty inside and out inside and out. So really getting to know yourself this year, which is a huge energy of 2021. But that is what this Maiden Beauty card is telling me. And then also allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to celebrate yourself, allow yourself to do as you desire, to put into the world what you desire, to know that you don't have to do anything for anybody else but you, to bask in your glory. So I love that those messages came out with that card. And then I cannot believe that this is the last card of the reading, y'all. But here we have Uzume, the goddess, the Fool energy, the first card in the tarot deck, the beginning of the journey here in 2021. And if this isn't a beautiful sign message to have fun, to be the Fool, to embody that fun, that creative, that playful energy, to not take things too seriously, you know, as we are making the changes, as we're showing up, to have the discipline, you know, to make the changes in our life necessary to receive, to create the foundations to receive our desires. That's fucking hard work, and it could be a tough journey, it could be hard on ourselves, and it can be really kind of like if you forget about this feminine side, if you forget to have fun, if you forget to play. So Uzume is here to tell you, to remind you to be the Fool, to have fun, to bring that energy to everything that you do, that it gets to be a balance of that discipline and that Fool energy. It gets to be a balance of the masculine and the feminine. And this is just another card about getting to know your body, about really getting to know yourself, loving every inch of yourself. And I love it because it's a huge reminder for me, and it's like really inspiring me and getting me lit up. But yeah, honoring your body this year, honoring your body, taking care of yourself, self-care, self-care, self-care. And then 0, the beginner's mindset. We're going through so many changes. It's going to be important to keep all that perspective open and to not beat yourself up if, you know, shit doesn't work. It's going to be a lot of trial and error this year. So having that beginner mindset, you know, it's okay, things didn't work out, we'll begin again. It's okay, things didn't work out, we'll begin again. Having fun throughout the journey, not allowing things to get too heavy, because I mean, we have a whole year ahead of us, shit, right? So really bringing these energies into this next year. This was such a fun reading. This was so fun to be here with you. Thank you so much for allowing me to read for you. If you would like a personal reading, I have left a link down in the description below, so you can just click there to book a reading with me, a card reading, and to talk about everything there. But with that being said, y'all, I am just so excited to be here with you in 2021, to be moving with you into this new year. I'm here to support you in your growth, in your human growth, in your soul growth, in all of the ways that you will be expanding this year. I can't wait to see what this year has for us. I really am so excited. So excited to get it going, to get it started. But I am also in no rush whatsoever. So with all of that being said, I am sending you so much love, and until next time, soul family.